What is going on YouTube? This is Acid Roost. So I'm going to review a hit mixtape by Chamillionaire from 2006. Basically, this particular mixtape is called Chamillitary Therapy, and it came out somewhere in 2006. So within various amongst it here, the particular pitches amongst it, Chamillionaire had a series of these particular type products pitched like that. Sunset ones around the time of The Sound of Revenge and pitched like that. It's supposed to sound within the aspect for us, and one of which was Man on Fire, pitched like that. There was also Mixtape Messiah 2, which I reviewed way back in early 2023, pitched like that. But Sunset Fairs and the aspects as far as saying there were some of these type ones some pitch as far as getting to us like the product. Now within the aspect like the appeal, it was kind of tricky within certain type senses. Now within the fashion, Mixtape Messiah 2 was pretty hitting within those aspects for us like the fair. That capitalized on like the breakout type of success. That was more or less like the appeal, like the follow-up type product. Now I knew that back in 2023 as far as this pitch. I'm fucking with like the Sound of Revenge pitch like that as far as this first gonna happen towards with them pitch. With the most type phrase when people say, yeah, Chamillionaire with Riding Dirty and particular songs like particular Chamillionaire with some of his hit breakout, the hit trio of singles that he dropped from The Sound of Revenge, Riding Dirty, Riding Dirty, the hit trio songs that he dropped off of Sound of Revenge, pitched like that, like Riding Dirty, Turn It Up, and then particular Grown and Sexy as far as he's supposed to pitched like that with them praise for him. But the aspect kind of amongst it, Chamillionaire was pretty much for a large portion, some of those type phrase, it was hitting type aspects. He did have like hitting kind of early 2000s pitch like that with the two color changing click albums that he dropped with Paul Wall, pitch like that. I've reviewed at least one of those, some aspects as far as saying, but the pitch as far as particularly the Sound of Revenge tends to get like scapingly kind of more of the girth, like the popularity when thinking in retrospect type perception with him as far as it's supposed to compared to like the sound compared to Ultimate Victory from the fall of 2007 or late summer 2007 pitch like that. The praise bar saying particularly some of the singles off that album with them pitch. There's one of which was like that was like the evening news. I mean the singles there were ones that like he did do another song with Crazy Bone pitches like that, the Bill Collector or something like that with them pitch that came out off the Ultimate Victory pitch like that. There were like at least there were 2 or 3 singles off of Ultimate Victory, but none of them really charted like that. It was kind of very. I thought I was underneath the impression that it was Evening News that was the single off the Ultimate Victory. One of which was Hip Hop Police. Bill Collector was a single pitch like that. Then there was also Industry Groupie as far. There's also Industry Groupie as far as it's supposed to have pitch like that. But the phrase as far as getting towards the pitch for saying, so it's been a little bit since I touched base with Chamillionaire. I need to start getting to him way more within these pitch for us. The variety's going to happen. But then the pitch for saying the product kind of amongst it. Some hitting type appeals. Now, the aspect amongst this mixtape, I would give this mixtape a 10 out of 10, but the pitch behind it is the product. It is going to get a high score with these pitches, but the variety kind of amongst this mixtape is mostly recycled with these pitches. It does have some remixes to some of his hit songs pitched like that. Like there's a Riding remix off here that has UGK, Pimp C, some of these type else pitched like that. There's a Turn It Up remix that has like there's a lot of these particular songs are on this product are also on the bonus disc that came out for The Sound of Revenge. Now, I had said this previously in the past within these pitches for the first album that I was going to eventually get towards like the bonus disc that has like 5 or 6 extra songs from The Sound of Revenge pitch like that. I haven't gotten towards it yet. It's going to happen at some particular stage. Not full button. It's kind of the pitch. One of the reasons why I haven't done it is full balance is the pitch of trying to figure out the artwork to kind of throw up for that as far as it's kind of the pitch for us saying it's the questionnaire. It's unfortunate that there wasn't some additional type for to kind of throw in there as far as this pitch. I'm trying to figure out. I mean, it'd be simple enough to get those 6 songs reviewed within pitches, but I question how the product of what to throw up within that necessary variety, but I'll figure it out at some particular stage eventually, pitch like that. But the very first saying, a lot of those particular songs like Rider and Hate in Your Eyes and particular aspects of like Grind Time, I think was another one of those type ones. Yeah, Rider, Hate in Your Eyes, Grind Time, Bad Guy, Sons of Ones, and Turn It Up remix, sounds affairs like that. But the pitch for us in some of this stuff products amongst us, a fair amongst this particular product here as far as being able to say. For the most part, most of these songs are either on the Controversy Sells album with Paul Wall from early 2005 before he dropped The Sound of Revenge in late 2005, or it's also pitched as far as saying some of this stuff phrase. There's some ones kind of within the pitch of like other 2005 appearances, like Chamillionaire was on the Longest Yard soundtrack by Adam Sandler, the movie the Adam Sandler Longest Yard movie pitch like that. That particular soundtrack's pretty hitting pitch like that. There's a song with David Banner that he did that's on here. Just recycled type ones to pitch as far as saying some of these products with a pitch. There's also the fray of like the bonus songs that are on the the deluxe disc to the Sound of Revenge pitch like that. So some of those phrases. I'm going to talk about at least 3 songs that didn't appear to be anywhere else, which would be Hating on Me, Undisputed King Koopa as far as he's supposed to have, and then Waiting for My Downfall as far as he's supposed to go. So within the pitch, as far as saying some of that fares, within the aspects as far as getting towards that. Now I would say within the phrase, like the new type stuff that is exclusive to this product within pitch that you're not going to find with another type phrase, I'd say it would get a 10 out of 10, but you would think within pitch it kind of would seem to kind of come within a relative kind of asterisk within these pitch as far as saying within product. Now, whether or not that, like, I'm not as full bunch sure if this is available for purchase, so it's kind of fair. It's a little bit tricky to be able to find this full bound pitch like that. It's the fairest part of saying some of the pitch within the aspects, kind of the tone of like, particularly, it's not available for mixtape download, considering that you like the songs from the Sound of Revenge Deluxe are kind of available for purchase, so it's kind of very tricky. I question if it's available on iTunes. I question if the deluxe of Sound of Revenge is available on iTunes and pitch like that, so I'm surprised with pitch for saying it has degrees of being able to find it. You just have to search for those pitches. If not, I'd probably say it might just be easier to purchase this particular product, Chamillionaire Therapy, here as far as the first but some of those type of pitches, and then just really getting controversy sales. Then just getting controversy sales with Paul. And then just getting controversy sales with Paul Wall here as far as his foot. And then just getting controversy sales here with Paul Wall as far as his first gun with the next type pitch as far as his first gun. But the aspect for us in banner typeness, I would say within the pitch, it gets a 10 out of 10, but it's a phrase for us saying just realize the concept within the pitch that there's not. It's kind of, if you're paying like $18 or $23 something. I mean, if you have more stacks to blow pitch like that, it's the fair. It's not as much of a deal. But it's this pitch for us saying the warranty. It's within the price range for us saying that you're getting like, unless you don't have a variation, get some of these other type tunes. It really just boils down to 3 songs. So these pitch for us like the variety of dislike things that are more exclusive. But pitch for us saying so it's asterisk with the 10. But pitch for us saying banner type nest the pitch. When paying attention to Starry Miss here as far as it's supposed to on some of these type pitches, the product is some of these type ones. Like it has Chamillionaire circa like 2005, 2006. This is a miss, like the phrase when he was working on the Sound of Revenge, seemingly pitched like that. So that's kind of him in his prime in a lot of senses. Now, in my opinion, I felt like Ultimate Victory was a classic album pitch like that. It's definitely some hitting type bills. Has some standouts off there like Pimp Mode. Like there's a particular tune. It's like something called like Going Crazy, something like that. I forget his full bound. There's like one particular real jivey type song. I'll look that up. Yeah, You Must Be Crazy, pitches like that, some of those type ones, other type pitches. The Bill Collector song with Crazy Bones, pretty nice off there. I think there's a song called Rockstar, which has Lil Wayne, that's him in his 2007 type prime pitch like that. Some of those type ones, some of those type aspects. Good band type ones. Hip Hop Police is pretty good within those pitches, some of those type ones. So plenty of those type aspects. It has some jumps off there within pitches. Just the factoid that for some reason, I mean, Chamillionaire kind of took like a more fastidious and kind of more kind of clean as a whistle type approach within that particular pitch. He just kind of shaped up with those pitches. He actually did that a lot before a lot of particular folks did way out in like the mid 2020s pitch like that. It's kind of fair. I want to say that I'm not as full sure whether or not Chamillionaire gave up drugs entirely. It may just have been I think he at least probably smoked like some swishers, fairs like that, but apart from maybe like I think he probably did syrup until that came out before Pimp C's death, so it's fair as far as saying it might have been syrup around that particular time. I think obviously nowadays since pitch is not anymore syrup the pitch. Some of those stuff phrase it just felt like kind of within pitch that apart from maybe like the occasional swisher stuff for the most part, he abstained from foul language, some of the pitch like that, minus maybe like saying the word nigga or something on the occasion. The pitch for saying for the most part is pretty healthy type album than pitch for saying just the product to kind of the way LL Cool J would kind of approach things within those pitches that he kind of have just more presentability. But the factoid amongst it is for some strange type reason it did. I think the factoid kind of amongst it is everyone just for like the consistency continued to want like another song like Riding Dirty by Chamillionaire. Is just the fairest for saying that had a real roteness type snap, just a bitch like that quotability. It was just like the song, it was just like a good summer type jump within the pitch. When you think of songs like It's Going Down by Young Jock, just that quotability type factor, Slow Motion by Juveniles. It's one of those type ones that this was, songs like Make It Rain by Fat Joe, some of those type pitches. It just had the recitable typeness, this chunk to do, some of those type various products that is some of those type pitches within like the crunk type product, but it's just the factoid that some of these other type songs just didn't roll off the tongue as full band. And it's really, I was surprised. I remember seeing like the music video in like the summer 2006, some of those affairs. He did mildly try to promote Grown and Sexy, some of those pitch had a Studley kind of starlet in Had a studly kind of starlet mist in there as far as the supposed to within like the pitch of talking about like that particular. He did try to promote that for like a decent while. It was on like probably Total Request Live and some of those type places like that. 106 in Park, VH1, some stuff there for like a brief while, but it just kind of lost steam within those pitches. Kind of, it's unfortunate because that was an attempted type one. It's a ladies type right. It did have the songwriting pitch like that, but I think folks just wanted another Summer Fury type one. It's this kind of pitch. It's kind of like what happened with it. I think he kind of fell in the same trap of what happened with particular MC Hammer and Vanilla Ice for people. Just like, give us. Give us another Ice Baby or another particular Can't Touch This, Frozen Spirits, and it's just kind of pitched it. That was kind of, those particular type of songs from the 90s were kind of lightning in a bottle. But just to say, I digress. I'm going to get to the review pitch that was just afraid. I think folks just wanted that from Chamillionaire, and the roteness factor just was not ultimate picture. But something's to pitch. This is a miss that prime. This is a miss that prime from 2005 as far as the. Then these particular type phrases, this is a miss that prime from 2005 as far as the first sound pitch like that. But the prize first saying, I do recommend all three of the songs that are exclusive to this fairs like that. So Hating on Me, good nice pitch here. It's like a groovy block rumble to get, and Mess Hall kind of white noise on. It's like a groovy kind of. Hating on Me is like a groovy kind of block rumble, and Mess Hall to kind of get towards your good pitch like that. Just white noise on pitch like that. That 70s show, Happy Days sounds to pitch like that. Just get towards some Fonzie type quotes pitch for us and just throw back to like those fairs. And within pitch behind it, probably the product of just saying probably TV Land wouldn't be too terrible to have. TV Land definitely wouldn't be too terrible to kind of have thrown on. Then some of these type pitches, TV Land wouldn't be too terrible to kind of have thrown on since the pitch kind of have the familiarity. Kind of have the familiarity of it, pitch like that. Supposed to be first, but the pitch first saying banner typeness, just cook like some blondies for a doll miss here. Supposed to be first going to happen. Get some blondies shipped up for doll miss here. Supposed to be first going to have good pitches. He likes a nice treat. He likes a nice treat like on a blondie shipped up for miss here as far as he likes a nice, delectable kind of treat like blondies for doll miss here, shipped up as far as these first going to have good pitches like that. As far as these first going to go. So pitch first saying this banner type nest, but he had this white noise, some stuff fairs, not within pitch of being bossy, within like the product first saying this has to be on pitch like that. But some of those fairs just the onset of some of those type of pitch to just like cooling and pitch like that. Some fairs me definitely getting like some sparkage going on within pitch. I did not talk this full bound amongst the tear up type phrase, so the pitch first saying me definitely going to get the tear kind of going within pitch like that. Some fairs is good. Couple shot glasses, like some dry gin, fairs like that. Sounds pitch in addition like the product this, but the product not burned down the house if you're too sauced to be able to cook the blondies. But some of those stuff fairs just Happy Days on. Pay attention to those products. Just getting the main pack going with Starry Mist. Just good engage for us pitch like that. What's some of the recent tree pitch like that? Some of those hit type fairs pitches amongst it. Undisputed King Koopa is hitting off here as well. It's like a good gulag and rush hour kind of drag to get towards their pitch like that. Some of those stuff fairs kind of composition of. Good, nice dredge type factor within some stuff right. This feels kind of similar to like the pitch. It's like a 2000s type variation, like the sort of shit that was happening pretty prominently 2011, 2013. Some stuff amongst like the dredge type factor, this car sit type fair, some pitch of just like blase bumper to bumper type and this pitch like that, and just afraid just like out in like the sun dredge pitch like that. Some fairs just kind of. Good day, kind of frustrate pitch like that. Definitely get some Burger King in your system first like that. Some pitch amongst this kind of product of this easy. Drive through sits and just the blase first like that. But it's kind of pitch of just how the goings with Standard Star. Good nice park bench kind of catch up with Starry Mist on top of that. How the goings and the pitch like that. Just the enjoyings as far as the first kind. So some of these the pitch vintage like the product, just the central typeness like the aspects for us, and some of these the pitch as far as like the aspect. Yep, this has kind of caught my head pretty oftenly as far as the first kind. So it's pitch as far as like the product. This is. It's one of those type of interests I can't live without as far as especially on good pitch like that. It's kind of fray. These are the sorts of clothing I'm trying to wear every single time pitch like that as far as these pairs kind of pitch up. But yeah. I could talk about 12 or 13 hours about this as far as he's supposed to have a good pitch like that, but the phrase, some of those to pitch like that, kind of product amongst a hit type phrase. Waiting for my downfalls, hitting type 1 off here as well. Good nice pitch like a heroin kind of air and run and get done here as far as he's supposed to have. Now, this might, a couple of these, Undisputed King Koopa and Waiting for My Downfall, these pitches are both from the Man on Fire mixtape as well as this kind of pitch. Really, it feels like the only more or less type 1 that's exclusive to this product in some degree. So, if I, when I review a particular Man on Fire pitch like that, I might be reviewing these again with the pitch person, at least hating on me as far as these pairs going to happen. May more or less be an exclusive, not as full bunch here, but the pitch for saying. This particular feels like a Dipset type beat pitch like that, possibly off the Diplomatic Community or one of those type ones. Might be Cameron. Also, some of those type pitches might have been from like particular like Purple Haze, one of those type ones. Feels familiar with them pitch like that, but the phrase for us saying because I don't recognize it within certain sense, I'm still going to get towards it. Yeah, this heroin kind of air and run and get done. Here's Rosie first kind of pitch for us saying just blood pumping, just kind of the pulsate type song with them pitch, but not pulsate in terms like fucked up and tear up is the pitch. Some of these type ones got to get to the product, just kind of a muscle type day and like a more big city type sense than the actual grease factor pitch like that. Just pick up like pipe cleaners, CLR for Miss, CLR pitch like pipe cleaners, CLR removers, some stuff like that for like Starry Mist, some stuff is going to come through where it's kind of the aspect of maybe possibly having to pay degrees of attention pitch like that. And that's not to say as if the tariff can't be present whatsoever, but some of those pitches, if you're unsure, it's kind of pitch, just have like the product, get the shit, get the pipe cleaners and the CLR, and then get towards the pitch once that's taken care of, and the product like the flash out, get the crunk type fairs going, so it's the pitch kind of product. Jack Daniels right there, pitch like that, sun sprays with pitch, banner typeness, Doritos kind of getting your system on top of that, sun sprays, just kind of nearby typeness, just have like some lunch type phrase, and this pitch with this crunk type factor within product, just some muscle and this multitask type day pitch like that, sun sprays amongst it, just definite pep as far as the space kind of good pitch like that, so it's the fair, just kind of a Starry Mist kind of the product of. You have the luck of the Irish here, Starry Mist, Rosie First Guns, the pitch for us, and the selling stuff fair is kind of the product of. You're killing shit like a morgue as far as these first guns, definite pitch. I have not seen you in any sort of mishap. Even if you're having bad days, you particularly nail it with. Even if you're having bad days, you particularly nail it with flair here as far as these first guns. The accent type pitch for those first guns, but the pitch first ain't with them products as far as like the product of. Seems like you also might have the possible. Seems like people have to buy you bandages often, like pitch like that, or some of these stuff. Right? Seems like you have like probably 50 boxes of band-aids underneath your sink or something like that within those pitches. But apart from that, it's kind of phrase as far as saying. Are you kind of an emo type person in hiding as far as these first guns, sons of pitches? What do you do with those razors when no one's looking? Sons of phrase with pitch, just banner typeness, shit like that. But the phrase first just pitch some of those hit type phrase aspects part saying pitch like that. So within the phrase part talking about it, yeah, this mixtape gets a 10 out of 10 within pitch like that as far as the first gonna have. Now minus the fact that even with these songs that are seemingly within the pitch of being a part of Man on Fire mixtape as far as the first gonna, it is a composition for saying it really feels like most of this product is kind of recycled, but the fair amongst at least with the relative narrow type aspects, some of the new type shit within pitch per se, it has some banner typeness. Like I said, this is a miss like Chamillionaire within relative type prime. So I'll say relative. It's Chamillionaire missed his primes for his first guys. This kind of composition. It's unfortunate that there weren't like it would have been pretty good, nice gesture. Now within the pitch, if I had to recommend some fairs kind of, there's a couple good songs. There's one of which I still remember within these pitches. There's one particular that he did to like. There's one off of Mixtape Messiah too, with some of those type pitches that he got like a song with Akon that's pretty good. Now I think that was kind of a miss the pitch where he was starting to cuss like considerably less pitch like that. But there's a particular song that was like a remix. It wasn't called Right and Dirty within those pitches, but it was the aspects for us and it had the same sort of chorus. But Akon kind of helped out with that. I forget his full bound. I mean, it probably takes some time to look it up. Pitch like that. I guess I could. Yeah, I used to listen to that particular song quite a bit back in like 2023, 24. Used to listen to that song quite a bit back in 2023, 2024. Pitch like that. It's riding overseas for the first guy with Akon. I used to listen to that song quite a bit back in 2023, 2024, pitch like that, riding overseas, Frozen Spitcam, which features Akon's Frozen Spitcam. It's basically Akon doing like a particular hook within the same format to Riding Dirty's Frozen Spitcam, excellent type pitch. It's kind of, that's like a good club type song. Now, back in those particular days, in 2023, I think I did not recommend that song, so Discipline Pitch, if you had seen that review recently, if you're in the Chamillionaire Reviews playlist, something like that within pitch, and you see me talking when I did back 3.5 years ago, where I talked down within the aspects of talking about riding overseas pitch, I do fuck with that song quite easily. It's the pitch. It's kind of, I think it just had more to do with the topic as far as just like it kind of being more within the product of just being more fastidious and kind of like upswing and pitch like that, just more jaw. Had more particular kind of upkeep about it and pitch like that, but it still hits. Definitely very banner and thrilling type club song pitch like that. Just hitting typeness, have no problem with that song nowadays since pitch whatsoever. So pitch for saying definite standout. So pitch like that as far as some of those stuff is. But pitch for saying could have used a few type original type songs like Riding Overseas on this particular product pitch like that. But I would say probably at least Hating on Me, and on top of that, some of those type phrase that has Spider Loc off there, which was he was affiliated with G Unit around that time. He was probably like the next I was gonna blow up after Tony Ayo. But folks didn't as full bond know with pitch like that. So no surprise. The pitch for saying banner typeness within those products. So social score within these pitches. So some of these products kind of a miss. Like there's a white noise type one for like mess hall type nist, just throw on that 70 show some pitch like that, hitting type phrase, the gulag type one for like the rush hour type nist, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock p.m. pitch like this, kind of where the leftover sunlight's kind of starting to get towards evening time, so the pitch is kind of simp type air catch up, how the goings pitch like that. Then you have like a particular pitch of just like some muscle type hours with waiting for my downfall as far as these pitch kind of within like probably just neat, just the active type nist where you're on like where you're on here as far as express kind of, so it's go time as far as like it's show time to kind of get towards the product. Just gotta hop to it and prove your word, your balls in your word. And this is one of those type products where they come into handy here as far as the spreads. You gotta come through with your word here as far as the spreads. But some of those type pitch amongst it, picking up like those sprays that Starry Miss needs, is some of those type products just active. Also bills pay for yourself pitch like that. Some of those pitch for say the aspect, some of those type pairs get some Doritos and gin in your system on top of that. Some of those sprays not as if it has to be a sober gopher type fit every single time. Some of those pitch amongst that. So that's the aspects. So in terms of feature, Chamillionaire within these tones is least drop products into the 2010s pitch like that. Now there might be a few in like the 2020s tones stuff first, but pitch for staying the aspect, he never dropped that third album Venom within those pitches, which is very unfortunate. Now there's traces of it probably somewhere floating around pitch like that as far as those pairs. I probably should review some of those type singles that he dropped in like 2009, 2010. 2009, 2010 pitch like that. Now within the phrase, I do need to get to some further mixtape Messiahs pitch like that. I definitely want to get to the first one. Since the ones he dropped a series, those particular ones pitch like that, those are pretty classic within those pitches. Those are pretty classic within those pitches. I'll probably review them just disc 1 and disc 2 at a time as far as the first time within pitch like that. With the phrase, I should definitely needs to happen pitch like that within phrase. So in terms of features, probably that, yeah, the just be able to say pitch like that. So further Chamillionaire down the road, signs the pitch, but hitting type aspects definitely within these pitches, good, nice, stable here. Minimal unlike the full bound new type race, but it is missed his prime within these aspects for the same banner type. And it's definitely some gems.